A video today we're reacting to Moist Critical Ava Kris Tyson. Situation is crazy. Let's get straight into it.
Ava Kris Tyson of the Mr. Beast crew had a ton of evidence surface about horrible
Mr. Beast. I watched Mr. Beast and I've never seen her before.
behavior with how they communicated with minors, as well as a past of really
Whoa. Mr. Beast.
disgusting shit. A lot of people are calling the season 7 writers of 2024 internet drama lazy because they're reusing a similar plot line. A lot of people drew comparisons to Dr. Disrespect recently being outed for talking inappropriately to a minor.
Skip that. It's just so many. Like not Dr. Disrespect and just no. It's been so many this year coming out.
There are tons of screenshots to showcase exactly what was being said to someone who was between 13 and 14 years old at the time, and it's fucking gross. It's completely unacceptable. Some of them were just public tweets right under everyone's nose. So Ava Tyson was an adult at this point. Lava was a child.
What?
And saying things like, I posted some fire nudes for you.
Why?
For you, please no share. And then other shit like,
Why
but
would
not
people
$5
get famous and stuff? They just want to talk to little kids. Like what?
pathetic JK kissy face. They seem to communicate a lot, even sending.
Wait. I know who that. Wait, isn't that the Kris? That's the guy that's Wait. Oh, he's like trans now, right? Okay. My bad.
Snapchats. So
I forgot.
here's one that says "Coming for America," and then goes on to talk about being in a group chat and everything. And I've seen a lot of people try and cope and deflect, saying like, "Oh, it's just edgy jokes. People are blowing this out of proportion." What a bunch of fucking.
No, why would you say that? I have never once said I will send nudes to someone that was way younger than me as a joke. That's not funny. I don't think that's funny. I guess if they were around your age, y'all were friends, close, you said something like that as a joke. But no.
Nonsense. That's a load of hooey. That's dirty barnacles. That's ridiculous. Under no circumstances should an adult be communicating with a child in any inappropriate manner
Right.
whatsoever. Edgy jokes between an adult and a child are still fucking gross. That's not like the slam dunk defense that some people seem to think it is. Under no circumstances should an adult be in a group chat with a bunch of children sending "Coming for America" pictures. Like, that's
I'm
still.
just gonna assume Jimmy knew nothing about this, cause bro, what the heck? And have we seen him on our last few videos? I don't think we have. Wait, no, I think last time I seen him, he was on that camp, and I reacted to Mr. Beast, so I think I would know.
Bad. That's still horrible. That's still really fucking weird. From what I can tell, most of the screenshots and a lot of the compiled evidence comes from this YouTuber, Prism42. This seems to be where most of it started, and since this video dropped, there's been a lot more screenshots that have come out with all kinds of really bad things that were being said to or about minors.
Last time I heard about him was when he was, like, he came out and stuff like that. Like, I just heard about that, and now it's this. Like, this is crazy. Ooh. The people who were going against him before, they about to stamp on this. They about to.
I've only shown a couple here, but there's quite a bit more.
And they have every right to, because this is not okay at all.
And they're all just as bad, if not worse. Like, for some reason, Ava Tyson had a habit of calling a 13 or 14-year-old daddy.
What?
Like, you can't just write that off as being like quirky, inappropriate,
Right.
edgy jokes that people are blowing out of proportion. That's unacceptable. It's indefensible. Now, the 13, 14-year-old in question for a lot of these messages is someone that has come forward to give their own accounts of the situation. And according to them, they don't believe that they were groomed or.
Of course they would say that. Of course they would say that, because when I wouldn't, but I just would assume if it is a situation like that, and they're going back and forth, and he's making it seem like it's jokes and stuff, the person would probably I don't know. No,
Anything bad was done on the part of Ava Tyson or anything like that. And I'll just go ahead and give my take on it here. I talked about it on stream. And I'm not trying to be some kind of armchair psychologist, because I'm just, at the end of the day, a little reptile brain idiot. But I really do feel like in a situation like this, it's very difficult to process just how inappropriate or unacceptable something was.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't understand. That's what I'm saying. Like they didn't. He just said it perfectly.
You lived it. I imagine that it's very difficult to view this as the person that you communicated to so closely for so long was actually evil or doing things that were wrong. But in reality, no.
If you're like Chad and having fun, because in his eyes, it's probably just a, Mr. Beast. He's Mr. Beast's right hand man. He wants to. Who wouldn't want to? Kid wouldn't want to talk to Mr. Beast as a right hand man and make jokes with him. So if he sees it as that, it's a famous person talking to me. He say, "Don't share it, don't share it." That's just.
Child should have this kind of relationship with an adult where you're joking about sending nudes to a minor, or making edgy jokes about coming for America. So while the person here might not feel like a victim, it really is completely unacceptable that Ava Tyson would be communicating with them like this. It really is. No matter how.
I didn't know. I didn't know they had changed their name.
Oh, it's spun. Now, it is important to mention that right now, most of the evidence is screenshots, so I guess there is the chance that some could be faked, but some of them seem very hard to fake. Like, there's a video going through a Snapchat conversation with Ava. There's also confirmed things that were publicly tweeted from their account over the years, which I'll get to now. And it was also revealed that Ava Tyson had a history of being a Shadman enthusiast. Since all the tweets have been deleted, it makes it very difficult to find the times that they communicated with Shadman or talked about Shadman and the art. But I did find this from Mudahar's video, who went to the Wayback Machine and showcased this tweet. And Mudahar censored it because the character does not appear to be over the age of 18. For those of you that know that name, that might have just triggered a Winter Soldier moment in your brain with your eyes rolling into the back of your skull, because it is so foul. Shadman was an artist who drew child porn. Now,
I wouldn't know that. Okay.
When you hear that, a lot of people think that you're talking about lolly or lolly hentai type shit, which is characters that look like little girls but are actually 5,000-year-old vampires. Like, that's the meme. Fucking
I've seen an anime like that and it was completely weird, bro. No, because I watched the first episode because the trailer looked alive. The trailer looked live. I went in, bro. They reincarnated this man, and I stopped when he met a girl, and then they started doing scenes with her because he growing up as a kid. I'm
from their Mountain Dew going, uncultured swine. You see, it's not actually a real child. This is a victimless crime. This may look like a 4-year-old girl, but you don't understand the lore. She's actually...
That's a different aspect of it, but the other one is still weird too.
Coming from a sophisticated line of goblin ogres, and she is over 400 years old. So it's completely legal, and you're weird for thinking that it's weird. But
7 Deadly Sins too. You just can't shape it that it's not weird. I know it's supposed to be like, he went through seven. It's weird. I'm sorry.
With Shadman, he wasn't drawing lolly. He was drawing real children sexually. So one of the most infamous cases was when he drew Keemstar's 8-year-old daughter in a pornographic setting. That actual fucking lunatic drew porn of an 8-year-old girl. That's not hearsay or anything. That is something that actually happened. And you know what's even crazier? I talked about this on stream. A lot of people supported him publicly.
Why would you think that's okay to even... You shouldn't even bake that off a theoretical person, let alone a real one. He shouldn't have been getting the pass even when he was basing it off theoretical people.
Like, a lot of people defended that. Back when Shadman dropped that revolting dog shit, there was a lot of people that were pumping their fists saying, "Go Shadman! It's Keemstar, who cares? Doesn't matter."
They're probably the ones using it, if you know. They're probably the other, They're probably the ones watching.
Deserves it anyway. Shadman, do you take requests? Can you do this person's underage daughter next? He received applause for drawing child porn. Let that shit marinate for a moment. So anyway, Ava Tyson has publicly tweeted about lolly. And in particular, there are tweets of Ava Tyson talking either to or about Shadman. A lot of the tweets are gone now because the Twitter account has been nuked, but there are archives of a lot of them. And one thing that still persists, and one thing that a lot of people have been showing, is that Ava Tyson may have actually commissioned a piece from Shadman, or at the very least, purchased a piece from Shadman.
Of course. I was wondering how he tied into this, and his name was just brought up. I thought he just brought him up because he was just, another weird person, but I guess he ties into this.
There's a clip from a MrBeast video where there is Shadman art hanging on the wall, belonging to Ava Tyson. I censored the close-up of the art for obvious reasons, but this is something that is irrefutable. The only question about Ava Tyson and Shadman's connection is
so that picture in itself just proves that it's definitely I'd say fetish of his.
Whether or not a piece was commissioned or purchased. But at the very least, a piece was owned by Ava Tyson. And I don't think there's any wiggle room to just explain this away as some kind of innocent whoops-a-daisy moment of being ignorant of what the art was. With Ava Tyson having publicly talked about content and art like that, and then also owning a Shadman piece, I don't think it's some kind of coincidence.
Right,
I don't think...
even at that point, I feel like if you even watching something like that, you should be on, a thing where you should not be texting no children if you own... You shouldn't even...
It was an accident, and they didn't know Shadman drew child porn.
Every single one of his followers are straight. We know what they are. Let's just say that. We know what they are.
Really don't. And then yet another disturbing video surfaced where they had actually made a video a long time ago that linked to revenge porn of Jeanette McCurdy.
The story is she sent pictures to her boyfriend, her now ex-boyfriend, and he leaked them out. And but the link's in the description if you want to see them. I mean, I'm not endorsing people to go look at somebody else's private business, but I know that people might want to see them, so it's there.
What?
You want it.
That's crazy. That's astonishing. Sharing revenge porn publicly?
That's illegal. That's illegal. That's highly illegal. That is highly illegal.
And trying to spin it like, well, some people might want to see this, so for you degenerates, I posted the link in the description. If you want to check that out.
He's in prison, right? There's no question, right? He's in prison, right?
But you'd be weird to do that, and I'm not endorsing it. That's unhinged. Completely unhinged. So all of this started to hit the mainstream. More and more people started sharing screenshots as well as other chat logs, all kinds of things with a history of communicating inappropriately with or about minors. And in response, a couple hours ago, Ava Tyson did make a statement, and this is what was said. I would like to apologize for any of my past behavior or comments if it hurt or offended anyone. It was not my intent. Seeing recent events, we've mutually decided it's...
Spoken like a trooper. Okay, he did it. No. The response is everything. Okay? I would like to... Okay, no denial.
It's best I permanently step away from all things MrBeast and social media to focus on my family and mental health.
No. Don't say it's because of your family and mental health. It's because you're weird. Because bro.
That is kind of a textbook non-apology.
Right.
It doesn't address anything. It doesn't talk about it.
For obvious reasons. He knows it's true. He's not going to say anything and then have people dig more. Like he's not going to point out a specific point so people can start, digging more into it. That's not something a person would do. He said he's trying to step away because of mental health. Okay.
Anything, it's just like this blanket boilerplate statement about stepping away. There's no denial of anything, no claims that some of the information is false, made up, fabricated, a lie, a fib, a bunch of malarkey, nothing at all. You would really think that if any of the information was wrong or faked, that would be one of the first things that Ava...
Right, that's what I'm saying, but he probably didn't do that because he didn't want anyone digging into that information he said is not true.
Tyson would want to set the record straight on, but that didn't happen. Even if it was something like needing more time, I really feel like that would have been expressed in the statement, saying, need more time to talk about all of these things that are incorrect.
Right.
But again, that's not there. So they're assumed to be all correct at this point.
Right, because there was no ounce of defense in that at all. Just said sorry. You apologize.
And they're indefensible, the things that have come out here. As I was rendering this video, Ava Tyson dropped more tweets claiming that no one was ever groomed, and then states that the victim vocally supported that that's false. I again, already told you my feelings on that. I really don't think a child who has this kind of relationship with an adult would ever really recognize just how inappropriate it was because...
Of course. Especially considering who they are. I don't know, who Ava is. Especially including who Ava Kris is. It's that's not a small thing. Mr. Beast is a big person. He inspires a lot of people. So no one's going to expect, someone that works so closely with the person that's, actively putting out good to do something like that. They think it's probably just joke.
It became so normalized to them, which it never should be. It's a horrible thing, and there really is no excusing it in my eyes. Going further, there's an apology about unacceptable social media posts and then saying that it was edgy jokes and that it was unacceptable humor, that it's like a thing of the past and it's been misconstrued into things that didn't happen, and then not wanting the accusations to impact hundreds of people who work at Mr. Beast, which is why Ava Tyson has stepped away.
Yeah, I don't want that either. I don't want it to affect Mr. Beast at all. I just want it to affect you because you're the one that's weird. Mr. Beast, he's not weird. You're weird. That's it.
I just don't think you can write off a lot of those social media posts as edgy jokes or edgy humor when you actually owned art from an artist who draws child.
Oh, yeah, I said that was the nail in the coffin. When you own something like that and you're texting actual minors, that's insane. That's not a coincidence. That can't be a coincidence. There's no world where that's a coincidence, where you own something like that and you also talk porn. Come on now.
That's not a joke anymore. Haha. Bought some child porn art.
No, it wasn't a joke in the first place.
That's not exactly side-splitting comedy. I don't really think you can just go ahead and hand wave that as being edgy and old humor that you've grown from. And then some of the tweets about it and requests. What's the joke? What's the punchline of that? I really don't think you can just say, oh, it's just edgy jokes that are blown out of proportion.
You have to say it's a joke. That's it. That's the only thing you could say. Because you can't say it's not true. The tweets are public. He said, most critics said that the tweets were public. So you can't say it's not true. You can't say you didn't do it. Can't say any of that. Got everything on Snap. You can't say you didn't do it. You got to say it's a joke.
I'm sorry if people were offended by it. That just doesn't really work to me. As of right now, there's been no response from Mr. Beast or anyone else on the team about all of this. So it remains to be seen whether or not Jimmy or anyone else on the team knew about these things or what's going on there.
I don't know why it's doing that, but I very much hope not, though, because, Mr. Beast, we love Mr. Beast, bro.
There's still no response yet. So this whole situation is obviously horrible. And there's a little bit more I want to talk about here, and it's something I didn't even think I'd ever need to talk about, but I guess we've reached this point in the internet where this is necessary. I've been being attacked on Twitter, just fucking dogpiled, about my ignoring the situation and refusing to speak on it, being too much of a coward to talk about all this, which is crazy to me. And then people saying oh, where was the same energy for where was the same energy that you had for Dr. Disrespect here? And it's crazy that I even have to talk about this. So last night during stream, this story was still breaking. Things were still coming out about this story. And I talked about it on stream last night, the same day.
Okay. People who hate like that, though, they probably don't watch you. You got to realize that. They're probably not the ones clicking on your videos. They're probably not the people watching their lives,
All of these pieces of evidence were surfacing. I talked about it immediately. Once I became aware of what the evidence was out there and what the claims were and what was going on, I was talking about it right away.
I'm never updated on this stuff because I'm not usually on Twitter unless I'm watching fight videos, and that's really only where this stuff pops up.
And I even posted a video that is highly edited and short, nice and concise, about the whole bare bones of the situation and my thoughts on it for the second channel.
I follow that account too. For some reason, it was just a couple bankers on there. They had a reaction. They have a reaction.
So that way, even if you have the biggest brain rot and can't focus on a video for long, you can still finish that whole video and see just how bad this whole Ava Tyson situation is. So I talked about it immediately, but Twitter didn't see that video, and the ones that did wrote it off as, oh, he's only going to put this on his second channel because he's afraid to put it on his main channel. He didn't do that for Dr. Disrespect. He was like that with Dr. Disrespect. You are provably wrong. All you had to do was activate a few fucking neurons in your noodle. Check my Dr. Disrespect video. I posted it at, I think it was 9 p.m. on June 22nd. June 22nd is when my Dr. Disrespect video went up. The allegation against Dr. Disrespect was on June 21st. So what happened is, that allegation came out. I talked about it on stream. Dr.
Okay, same formula, I guess.
Disrespect made a statement as well the same day that I talked about on stream. Then the following day, almost a full 24 hours later, I made the video talking about it. And in this situation, it is the exact same timeline. I was talking about it as everything was unfolding. I even had a video go up on the second channel going over everything that was coming out. And now I'm making the full video about it 24 hours later. It's the exact same speed and same energy as the...
But I was going to say again, it's just probably not the people that's watching the videos. It's just... Well, no, probably just most likely not the people, like, you know, closely watching.
Dr. Disrespect situation. And the main person who started this lightning rod of accusations about me ducking it and refusing to address it is fucking Sneeko of all people.
Yo, look out, Moist Critical is not going to go talk about the Kris situation because he wants to have the
I thought we were over this, Sneeko. I thought we were over this. I wasn't even reacting back when Moist dunked on Sneeko, and they, you know, got well, they didn't get back together, but they got on a phone call and they you know, squashed or whatever.
Mr. Beast collab. Bro, you're going to talk about every other trending situation, Dr. Disrespect, Sneeko, anything that goes viral goes on your main channel. Kris, the associate of the biggest YouTube channel in the world, you do a 4-minute clip on your second channel. Stop coping and be a journalist if you're going to be a journalist, or just say that you want to have the collab. Stop lying.
Jesus Christ, the fucking drool there is going to drive me insane. I need to go put on the fucking...
people online. That's probably why the people probably weren't even thinking that. You know, I thought it was weird that people were saying that. I'm like, you know, if it's the same formula, but people probably weren't even thinking that. They probably just saw that video with Sneeko and was like, and Sneeko's fans was like, hey, he might be right. And just started spamming that. And Moist Critical saw it and thought everybody was seeing it. It probably wasn't even your fan base. It was probably Sneeko.
Bathrobe here and give him PTSD or something. What do you mean it is a 4-minute clip? Because I did that so people like you who don't pay attention long enough could see my take on it and also get the bare bones information of what makes it so horrible. That's the reason it's a 4-minute clip on the second channel. It was never going to be the only video I made talking about it. I was always going to make a full breakdown of this because it's bad. It's a horrible situation. So yes, you're right. I do talk about like big trending bad shit like Dr. Disrespect or like Cody Ko most recently. I don't know why people thought I wouldn't talk about this. I knew Cody Ko far more than I knew Ava Tyson. I talked to Cody Ko at length one time on his podcast and then one other time in DMs. Ava Tyson, I met 1.5 times. I first met them after a poker game with Mr. Beast. They showed up right at the end, right before I left. And then at the most recent Mr. Beast video, also right when I got out, Ava Tyson showed up. And I talked to them for a couple
see Ava in that
of minutes. But
that's why I was like, I haven't seen Ava in the last few videos for Mr. Beast. Wait, no. They were in the house one.
I never knew Ava Tyson very well. Cody Ko I did. And I still wasn't afraid to talk about how awful his shit was. So I've never been someone to fucking shy away from a bad situation like this just because I know or am familiar with the person that it's about. So I don't know why people thought that that would be the case here. And also, for the millionth fucking time, I'm not a journalist. I'm like the Z-tier stupid journalist, like this actual layman fucking CTE-riddled idiot that reports on stories, and I talk about them usually to make jokes about them. In rare cases, and recently it's been very common, there's serious stories that I am very passionate about delivering.
It's been more like, you know, the more serious stories have been the pedophilia. That's about it. That's the only stories I could think of that he's really taken serious, unless some videos I haven't seen. I don't know.
And talking about how shitty they are. So, like, in a situation like this, yeah, this isn't really a story that I joke a lot about because it is serious. When there is a victim who is a child here, that's something to take seriously.
Right.
But I'm not a fucking journalist. Most of the shit I talk about is the most inconsequential mumbo-jumbo ever, like aliens in warp drives, or that recent story about how scientists discovered hippos can fly because they get airborne.
Yeah, that video is so stupid, bro. The hippo was literally 1 foot above the ground. He was literally 1 foot. Wait, no, not 1 foot. But he was basically like just like hovering over not even hovering. He was running over the ground for like 1 second. His feet left the ground for like 1 second. And they said he was flying. They said he was flying.
For a split second, literally like one half of a frame, they're able to get all 4 little legs off the ground. And I talk about those stories and joke about them. It's just talking about shit to joke about it for the most part, except in cases like this where it is a serious
story. Or some things
story
that are like serious but not as serious, like the fast food workers and stuff
that I talk about. Now, Sneeko, I hope you're ready for the cold water here, because I'm going to be brutally honest with you. When this story broke, I thought for sure, I would have actually bet money that you would have been some kind of contrarian talking about how this is actually not a big deal and everyone who's pretending to be outraged about it is actually just a hypocrite. Because you have been on this crusade for a while now about not agreeing with the age of consent. So I really thought you...
Get him out of here. 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 I'm glad he doesn't appear on my For You page. I'm so glad he doesn't appear on my For You page. What? You don't agree with what? Bro.
Be talking about how, oh, this is just like Dr. Disrespect, who you ran hard defense for with this imaginary 17-year-old you cooked up in your head based off of one fake email from an anonymous source. And I thought you would be going that angle again, saying like, oh, well, that 13-year-old was probably very mature.
Age of consent should be maturity. It's not even 18 in most states. Why do you even believe that? It's because in Hollywood, it's 18, so that gets pushed everywhere. Most places, 16. And if you question that, then they call you a pedo. I believe the age of consent is age of maturity. It should be called the age of marriage. Age of consent implies that you're gonna have sex out of wedlock. I think it's better that people get married at 16, 17.
He wants a 16-year-old. That's what he wants. I see this. He's probably talking to... There's no way. Because who thinks about this?
And to have a bunch of premarital sex until they're 30 and they're washed up and then they get jaded and they're on birth control and they have dried up eggs. I think that's better for society.
He's the only person who would think about lowering the age limit for that stuff is someone who would want to date somebody that age. That's crazy. That just screams
so pseudo-intellectual that he actually argues for things that defend pedophilia. That's fucking ridiculous. And when challenged on this, it's even worse. So there's an older clip now, it's quite a few months old, where XQC and Destiny actually challenge him on this right to his face, and holy shit, it's bad.
You see how you want to answer the question? You see how he's going to yap and not answer the question? I'm going to ask the same thing when you're done. Go ahead.
I just answered the question. I just told you.
What was the age?
I just told you at a developed age.
Sneeko thinks you should be able to fuck 9-year-olds. That's what Sneeko thinks, and he won't answer that question honestly. Or he's going to have to give a different answer, in which case he's updated his morality. He's updated his views, and that's really uncomfortable.
I don't even want to hear the rest of this, bro. What he just said was just crazy. What do you mean 9? What do you mean he didn't answer? What?
You don't have an answer to any of this shit, bro. Go back to fucking that fucking corner in London where you're getting roasted by year 1 debaters on fucking Christianity. This is retarded. I don't know what the fuck you're doing in here.
Okay, so you can leave the call. I wanted to go talk about this word.
I don't want to leave the call. I like hanging out here. I've talked to a lot of pedophiles in the past, so.
Okay.
Okay, Sneeko, I'm actually curious now. What do you think the age of development is?
I just told you. It depends on where you are. It depends on the world.
Then at what stage?
See, who thinks about that? Who? Tell me. You think a person who wouldn't want to like talk to somebody that age would think about that? They would not think about something like that.
Somebody's developed in it. What stage of development? Because there's a lot of stages of development.
It varies.
It varies on the world.
I think it varies on the age.
It varies on the age.
It depends on where you are.
You need to have set ages for that. There are stages of development. As a child, an adolescent,
you can hear him start to snivel in the background there as he's sucking up snot from his nose, getting cooked, and his brain is fucking overheating, malfunctioning, trying to formulate some kind of response to the easiest question in the world about what he thinks the age of consent should be. He keeps talking about the age of development and then can't even put a number on it. So everyone, please feel free to ask Sneeko what he thinks the age of consent should be if you want to see a human being fucking glitch out and malfunction like an Oblivion NPC. Can't answer the most basic question in the world. That is concerning. You realize how deranged that makes...
I honestly think 18 is good. I think... Am I tripping? I think 18 is pretty good, right? Like, I could see like an argument if somebody wanted to up it. Like, I guess, but to lower it, no. Why would you do that?
You look, Sneeko? That makes you look like an actual danger to society, that you don't agree with the age of consent and try and argue around it. That's what every pedophile ever that Chris Hansen talked to would do. Like, you're a fucking weirdo. So for you, of all people, this fucking putrid vermin, this absolute slimy worm, to have the gall to say that I only care about the Mr. Beast collab, thus this whole story is just relegated. You'd never use that word. That word's too big for you. This whole story is just put on his second channel where no one's going to see it because it's safer that way so he can keep the Mr. Beast collab alive. He's afraid. He's a coward for it. He has no problem abandoning his morals and defending blatant pedophilia, brushing it under the rug as long as it means it keeps the Mr. Beast collab alive.
I see why he's mad. I see why Sneako's upset now. He switched his thing because he just wanted to get at him. Okay.
For you to make insinuations like that and even claims like that is fucking unhinged, considering you make actual pedophile defense arguments constantly. And you have publicly put on the clown makeup and worn white knight armor complete with the shield to defend Dr. Disrespect when he himself publicly admitted...
I didn't hear about that. I don't hear anything about Sneako anymore. That's just... I heard about him a little bit back in, like... This was, like, earlier... I don't remember. This was a little while ago, actually. More... It had to be a little bit more than a year ago. I don't know.
Messaging a minor inappropriately. It's fucking insane.
It was around the time that stuff happened with Moist Critical. I started seeing clips of him around the time Andrew Tate and stuff, you know.
Insanity. It makes me want to spit that I even have to talk about this, but it became such a huge fiery issue on Twitter about me specifically that I felt the need to have to include this in this video, which should have been entirely focused on everything Ava Tyson has done and why it is so shitty. But now I've had to dedicate a sizable chunk to talking about these claims against me, about how I'm not going to talk about it and was not going to talk about it until pressure from Twitter forced me to, even though I had talked about it as it was developing and even mentioned on stream I was going to make a video on it. So to bring it all back to what should actually be
like I said, it's probably just because Sneako made that, you know, that he said that, and his fans came over and started spamming that stuff. That's what they do.
Focus. The Ava Tyson situation and how horrible it is, I believe that it is an unforgivable thing that has been done. Talking to minors inappropriately is horrible. And having this kind of continued relationship with a minor where you're sharing edgy and inappropriate jokes back and forth and being in group chats and voice chats with children and saying gross things around them is so weird that it is not okay under any situation. It's disgusting behavior. Right. And publicly supporting an artist who draws child porn and even owning art from that artist and talking about art like that and the revenge porn, all of it is very fucking bad. It's horrible. I'm not pulling.
It's worse than that. Like you say, he's taking a break back from mental health, but we really know why you're taking a break. Like you know, like that's, and the fact that you didn't even defend it, we're just gonna forget about Sneako for now.
Any punches here on my feelings around it. So yes, I wanted to talk about this, and that's really about it. See ya.
All right, y'all. I'll see y'all in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and peace out.